I guess I'm going to start. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the SMZ3 Combo Randomizer Weekly. I'm Professor Bender. Joining me is Yuzuria. We have Nidorefic and Hitaka, and we just got started. And how are you doing?
How about yourself, Professor?
No, I'm doing pretty fine. Just myself, and we're starting off here in Super Metroid because change your controls and stuff, and both players are going to head down to Link to the Past. Yep, that's correct.
Now comes the question of, so we're gonna check that and then I mentioned, and then we'll see which they hit straight for the village or not.
Yeah, but more commonly, speaking from a Link to the Past mind, commonly you'll see it's pretty common to hit the village in the early game, and Nidorefic wants to head over to the Uncle route, and we got our first set of prizes. We have the pendants on Desert and Eastern, and Crystal is at Hera. Hitaka wanting to do some Houlihan for us, just to get some early money.
Which crystal did you see on the Desert Palace?
It wasn't even a. It
I mean,
wasn't.
excuse me, a pendant.
Both of them were regular pendants.
Okay, so no crane pendant for us yet.
Yes. Hitaka gets the Houlihan, will earn 225 rupees. It's caused by causing an error in the supply coordinate. And then the game doesn't know where to put you when that Y coordinate is in an error state, so it drops you into this room with 225 rupees. And Hitaka wanting to take those rupees over to the left side, starting from Link's house. So wanting to grab some early bombs for them. We are running with 553, which is 5 crystals for GT, 5 crystals for Ganon, and 3 Metroid tokens to get into Turian. And I didn't remember if we were on a normal or hard logic. And up again.
I think it looks normal. Let me see if I can check.
Normal. So, and what we mean by normal is that it doesn't relate to Link to the Past. It's just logic for Super Metroid.
It's normal logic according to the schedule.
Yeah, I confirmed that.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Yeah, that's fine. I thought I saw a nice something that was interesting to note of on Lumberjack. I don't know though.
We have Blue Key at the library.
It's an invulnerability item, not really all that useful though.
I think, from what I've seen, it's pretty more niche at best. Like I've seen it work pretty well against blind if you don't have a better option.
Yeah, it does serve its purpose, although you do have to pay a additional magic cost to fire up the burnout, which is I don't particularly like it all that much. It's a good invulnerability item for damaging, but I'd rather take a cape as my vulnerability item.
That's fair. Most of the time when you're putting on invulnerability, you're just trying to make it go through an event alive.
Right, yeah. So Ritaka will take those 10 bombs from the shop using the 225 rupees that get picked up. Starting things off with a single arrow power bombs, bees, and we're on Nidorefic side.
Village Merchant is running a rip-off scheme. Pay him 100 and get 20 back.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's not really all that useful, but something. We still have money, so we got an arrow upgrade in the well.
Ooh.
We did get grapple beam, which is a thing that exists. So, not really a whole lot of good things to write home about in this in this CAC. Like, this is very barren, except for I guess the grapple beam. But this is the grapple beam we're talking about. So it's nice to have, but not really necessary. Eaterific will follow in Hintako's footsteps, join the chicken hut shack, which only didn't yield anything, and thus Hitako will head up north to the Lost Woods. This was something that Eaterific has already done, and this is more this is kind of what it is with the early game. It's so early on with Spirit 1. Yeah, you're often retracing of his footsteps, so. But yeah, but at least we're getting more power bombs. That's really good to have for once we get morph.
Yeah, it does look like we're getting rather some decent amount of ammo for Super Metroid once that opens up.
Yeah, and that's not a bad thing at all. Getting a lot of ammo for Super Metroid, even though we don't have a lot of into the past items, it's still good. It let us do more things once we have morph ball stuff.
And we're getting our first E-Tank, I believe.
Yeah, Hitaka didn't bother to pick that up because he was more focused on just getting over to.
Did he even have bombs yet?
He did have bombs.
Oh.
Okay. I gotta go look at it now. It's just a reserve tank. I thought it looked like an ice beam. It was just I didn't have to chat up at the time, so it is a reserve tank. So.
Okay, looks like both runners are headed for the dam now.
Yeah, with the early game, it's pretty common to just see two players going the same spot. It's not like people are going to be doing anything wild over.
I mean, there's usually sometimes you could see some slight variations in the order they do them.
Yeah, but you're still doing the same checks either way. So. I think it's super missiles and out of the dam chest, and just 3 bombs from the sunken treasure. So we're gonna head over to Mini Moldorm Cave next. Since Hitaka was already full up on bombs, doesn't really need to pick up that pack. It just wouldn't make sense. It's more fluff at that point. So. Both will head into Mini Moldorm Cave. Again, this is just the early game, so pretty straightforward. And we did get a nice bomb refill for bomb pack for like a small 1 bomb for Eaterific. Some more power bombs and missiles. Eaterific will head over to Ice Rock Cave. Hitaka will follow as well. Or maybe just wanting to take a different path and just go and do fake flippers first. Over Ice Rock Cave, it really depends on what you're feeling like.
Although I always get nervous checking this cave with such low health since those crabs do like 2 hearts of damage.
Yeah, in Grey Mail, it's 2 hearts, and those get cut in half for each mail upgrade following it.
Alright, let's see what we got for Ice Rod. And just an arrow upgrade. Well, arrow capacity.
Right, yeah. So we're gonna head. So now we're heading to um, Saha Hut. It looks like from the horrific. Again, nothing really too um, nothing too special for both players. Itaka, however, is gonna head over to Uncle. So, because Hitaka had to do the Uncle route instead, just opted to go for Houlihan. Loki might wanting to check the tier 2 tree pole, which is a bombs.
Various genius amount of bombs.
Saha Hut only had a red boomerang and some supers. And Neorific will head into Bolus Eastern Palace. This is something I haven't really done in a good while. I hadn't had a reason to do early Saha, unless I was forced to do so. But yeah, something I haven't done in a while. Just something my route doesn't really line up with that. But we are gonna get a bomb escape from Hitaka. This is so. Bomb escape, I will admit, is one of my favorite escapes. It's very technically demanding, but it's fun to pull off when you know how to do it.
Fair enough. But right now, chat is kind of speculating. We're gonna have like, what's gonna finally open this up? Like,
there's a big key to start off, which is fine. The first check in the front of escape is a missile pack. And first item for Neorific inside Eastern Palace is an E-tank. And there's the morph ball.
Morph ball. Looks like chat called it that we're gonna have a very early morph ball. So that opens up, especially with all those power bombs we've been finding, that opens up a lot of Super Metroid.
Yeah, that's the good thing about having that missile. And it is, yeah, you do have to do a bomb escape to get to it, but that's fine. We did also, Neorific will find a power bomb to end his journey through the Eastern Palace. And Neorific will also be doing that bomb escape to get to that morph ball. And once again, Hitaka and Neorific are going to retrace each other's footsteps here. So at this point, I would say after Neorific gets the morph ball, that's when you reset and get to Super Metroid. And or we're probably just gonna see Hitaka. Yeah, Hitaka's gonna head straight to Super Metroid right now. It's not gonna even bother going to Eastern Palace, which is fine. It's not like it does not like it has a whole lot. So Hitaka will be the first one to head into be the first one to do this play.
Oh, and Hitaka's actually heading towards Red Ship and versus towards Bryn Star or say the Gauntlet.
And also one of our lovely tracker KR actually the green pennant is actually in Brinstar, which um which means um it's on crate. So and we Hitaka opting to do the Bryn skip here.
Alright, so we'll be checking the alpha and beta power bombs. 300 rupees, so that's Zora money.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Like nothing to take out. That was off of what, alpha or beta powers, or was
Those
that
beta
something else?
power bombs.
Beta powers. Okay, yeah, I'm not really. I myself am kind of learning SM myself, so wanted to know the names myself. And we get speed booster.
Speed booster. That opens up a lot more of Super Metroid.
And a sword from Alpha Power Bombs.
Yeah, as for myself, I'm more on the Super Metroid side, so Zelda is more of a rough memory for me. Oh, and we see Nidoqueen doing Gauntlet check.
Yeah, you
taking advantage of all that mountain supply of power bombs.
For Link to the Past, I got you covered.
Alright. Oh, and Hitaka's doing an X-ray check, taking advantage of that early grapple game, and Nidoqueen finds Ice Rod over in the front of Gauntlet.
Okay. With it being 5 crystals for GT, 5 crystals for Ganon, and 3 Metroid tokens for Turian, that's something to keep to. The Ice Rod does devalue when you play on reduced crystals. We do find Book out of what's that?
That's true, because in my experience, that most of the time you only need Ice Rod for if you have to do Turtle Rock, and I always do end up doing Turtle Rock last, if I can.
Right. We'll get a heart piece out of Terminator. That's the one name I do know.
Alright, we're about to see Spazer with Hitaka. Let's see if that has an advancing of value. Well, meanwhile, Nidoqueen is entering into green Brinstar, so go ahead and check the early supers. The Brinstar reserve tank. Hitaka nopes out on arrows from Spazer. And we found the flippers at the Brinstar reserve, along with some more money and another E-tank.
Okay. That's actually not bad. We got flipper checks right out of the get-go. We know that Zora money is available.
Ooh, and silver arrows.
Always love to see silvers at this early on in the game. Although to be fair, with the bow still with the bow and the silvers being separate, unlike and the existing Link to the Past randomizer where they're progressive. Sometimes you're kind of wanting the bow first before you get the silvers.
Especially since the bow can be considered progression, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I know there's like a Palace of Darkness. There's certain enemies. There's one room that's locked by the bow.
Yeah, it's the Bolok sided pod that has mimics. Although you could mimic clip to get to it. It's something that you could pull out if you really wanted to, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I think some people know how to mimic clip, but then again, I'm not sure. But anyway, we're gonna have a great
Maybe
fight
clip
for
is that where you take a glitch to get the screen lock was a potion?
potion camera lock is different, but
Oh, okay.
Hitaka does get a quick kill on Kraid as I was trying to talk about Kraid. Um, and we'll get the green pendant from that. But what I mean by mimic clip is that you are trying to get the mimic to go off the side of the screen by forcing the try to make it so that it collides in a wall in a way that it's trying to spit it out, but the game can't do it, so
Mm-hmm.
it will just
Okay.
flap us off the screen.
And create E-Tank is just a vanilla E-Tank. Alright, Eaterific's about to check Mission Impossible. We'll see if that has anything of interest. Okay, now if you're wondering why it's called Mission Impossible, is that some more skilled runners can actually come down, grab the item, and then quickly jump back up. Just like that scene from Mission Impossible.
Pretty creative, even though I'm not really familiar with all the terms for Super Metroid. Oh, that's a fire rod.
Right at the Crocus Gate. Oh, there's Spazer. Over at the high jump missile. Oh, when you found the mirror at high jump.
And we are close to we are at the cross game portal for Death Mountain as well, so that's actually a convenient spot for that mirror.
Let's see if Hitaka decides to do some runs. Maybe I'll check Death Mountain. No, South Park.
Yeah, looks like Hitaka will be heading over to the Death Mountain, head over to Death Mountain through the cross game portal. Which makes sense because you have mirror. You might as well. You're right here in You're right here after getting from Upper North Fair. Might as well just take advantage of it. You have Hera access. It is a crystal.
As we see on screen, there's also the point. And there's also apparently the fact that, well, you have a sword, so that makes that dark navigating the dark room blind a little bit easier.
Yeah, it's one of those dark room. The dark room's actually pretty. It's not too terrible when you know what's going on. The one trouble that people might have with that is that pole that's right after you pick up the old man. So yeah, that's
I definitely found that that dark room one of the easier ones to learn.
Yeah, knowing your dark rooms is really good. We'll take the we'll just rescue the old man, and we're just gonna go ahead and just do a quick save so that we lock down the portal.
Okay, so Hitaka's going to do a hell run towards Ice Beam Room. Meanwhile, we have Neither Perfect checking out Retro Brinstar. Only only finding a bottle so far, which is nice, but not like super important.
Yeah,
Oh,
and there's
Moon Pearl at the E-Tank, Brinstar E-Tank ceiling.
yeah, that's actually really early because you could have gone that, well, you could have gone that or well, I think it's early enough that you could get it without any uh
What's that E-Tank is obtainable without any items by using a ID boost off of that one of the enemies in that room.
right. That's the thought I was thinking about. And the Billion Maze room is just super missile and a 20 rupee. Oh, that's Bombos over on Hitaka side from that hell run.
Over it, that was the Ice Beam missile, if I remember correctly. Oh, doing a Crystal Flash to restore health.
Good call. Because especially after you did a hell run, it is out of logic within normal logic, but knowing Hitaka, this is actually not a problem. So there's that Bombos pickup for Hitaka.
And since Hitaka has speed boosters, looks like they're going to go ahead and head towards Croc, as pointed out by Thar. Oh, and Nadorific's going to check out Climb Supers over in Criteria. Oh, but they don't have speed booster, do they? Yeah.
No, they weren't. They never went over to. They didn't do Bryn Skip to get that sword and the speed booster from Alpha Power Bombs.
Oh, this is just purely a visual check on the top part of Nadorific. It's just a rubies. So,
Hi, Croc. Bye, Croc.
Alright, we'll see, probably see Nadorific checking 230 missiles in a short moment. Meanwhile, Hitaga's about to check the Croc PBs. And we found Pegasus boots at the Croc PBs. Nice.
Sanders already mentioned it. Always bet on Croc, and well, Croc delivers. And especially considering too, you have Fire Rod waiting for you at the Croc escape. Yes, out of logic, considering that we hell runs to get to it, but still. And Quake is here too.
There's our last medallion.
So that's always having early having all three medallions as early as it is great. Also, we get Power Glove from Bombs.
Bomb Teresa fight.
And there's also Blue Mail from Hitaka aside from the launch. I would say I'm gonna call it the launch launch ramp just because it launched quite over to there from that ramp. From the ramp.
Was it at the Grapple Beam location?
Yeah, Grapple Beam. That's what it is.
Okay.
Also, Pokemon and the readers from Speed 5. This is our Super Metroid Link to the Past Common Randomizer Weekly. Today we are playing on normal logic, but we are playing with 5 crystals to get into GT, 5 crystals to kill Ganon, and 3 Metroid tokens to open up Turian. And it looks like Nidourific wanting to head over to the wrecked ship, or that, or maybe head into okay, yeah. So this is the wrecked ship play, right? Not gonna do the Bryn skip just yet.
And while Hitaka picked up that fire rod that was spotted earlier.
So after all that, Hitaka will now be making his way over to Hera. And it's actually, this is also really good too, because since you got a fire source from Rock Escape, it lets you clear the dungeon even if the big key is vanilla.
Although how is it annoying is it to actually have to check the dungeon? Because I always have it's like one of the things I detest the most when then you have to wait for all those tiles to clear.
Here's our Darkhold map check. We do have Kraid, Rydia, and Dragon tokens at Pod, Mire, and Ice, respectively. And then I saw a crystal off of Skull Woods. Or Red Crystal, Skull Woods, and then I think there was one at Turtle Rock.
All I was able to catch was we have a Metroid at Misery Mire and the Ice Palace.
There's our big key.
More experienced Zelda players, since we can skip. I imagine they'll probably skip one of the Zelda dungeons rather than a Super Metroid boss. Which of those 2 dungeons would you skip? Although admittedly, it probably would depend on what items you end up finding within it.
Yeah, I would say Mire probably. It's kind of it's kind of out of the way, especially considering too that you would the only way you would get into Mire at that point is if you had lower Norfair access. So it wouldn't really. And also, you would need some Arya to make that work. And we have a sword off of Hitaka in the big chest. Oh, I forgot to mention this too. Reaver is fighting Fantoon. Down goes Fantoon as I just say that.
Donk was a super missile. But then we have Yutaka facing off Boldorm. We'll see if it becomes Trollborn.
Sweet. Yeah, it's good. And we get a crystal off of Fantoon.
And that opens up all of Breck's ship, or these are Redford. We'll see if it if there's any items of note inside there.
So both players getting their first crystals in, roughly kind of next to each other. Hitaka will now head into Super Metroid.
Right side Breck's ship supers is just arrows. Looks like Hitaka's trying to decide what they want to. Oh, they're going for tier power bombs after doing getting a refill of the ship. Yeah, 100 rupees. I think they already have Zora money, so I don't think that's. Unless they need potions, I don't think that's too useful. Okay, looks like Hitaka's gonna go check Gauntlet. If I remember correctly, that was like flippers, the E-Tank, and the book. Meanwhile, Nidotifric's trying some difficult tech in the Spine Shroud, trying to do a power bomb jump, pass it, and just catch it.
Nice. So,
And then we're going for the Spectre Room with Des, which can be very dangerous if you don't have any suits.
yeah, that's a room that I have seen from time to time suffer putting deaths on. So there's Hitaka's ice rod.
Oh, I misremembered what was in there. Not that. And the back of Rick's ship has just a heart piece instead of an E-Tank.
Hitaka will now get the book from the from that room.
Alright, Nidotifric has reset it rather than pick up that heart piece, so they're not going to check their top of Rick's ship. Hitaka's retracing the steps over Terminator in the back of Gauntlet. I mentioned they're probably going to do the green and pink Brinstar zone. Maybe we'll see the Hitaka check the waterway.
So yeah, Hitaka will now head in Green Bryn now, as mentioned. So we'll get the these early supers check from Hitaka that will give him the flippers.
Rick Ship Attic, it just has a reserve tank. Nidotifric decides to nope out on that. And on 6 E-Tanks, you don't really need it.
No, you're pretty comfy as it already is. You already have like what 600 or 700 799 energy, something like that.
699.
699. Yeah, that's why I was gonna say 699, but sure.
I mean, I personally will grab them, partly just like as a safety if I'm trying to do the stand-up clip. And then Bo is locked behind Restrict Reserve, and Nidotifric will not be able to grab that without speed.
That's actually a very interesting thing to note, because Hitaka had already gotten the speed booster off of Alpha Power Bombs, and that was because Hitaka did a Bryn skin.
But this still means that Nidotifric, after he does Alpha and Beta Power Bombs, he's going to have to backtrack for that.
Yeah, and that's and you never want to backtrack for anything. Oh, we do find Screw Attack though.
That would be a nice item of convenience, especially if Lower North Europe becomes required. Okay, so Nidotifric is using the platform enemies to check the sky missiles. Just a missile, so not gonna. So Nidotifric's not gonna worry about grabbing that.
Right. That's you don't really want to bother picking it up just because you already loaded it. Well, kind of in a decent spot. Well, you're 20
And they
missiles.
still
You're
need
fine.
ammo from Mother Brain, but I mean, it's not worth it to spending that much time for just a missile pack.
Right? Yeah. It's early on in the game. Yes, you still need missiles for about the brain, but it's being early in the game, you can afford to just leave that out as you directly head into the bowling alley. So this is of course new information since Europe's time to interact ships. So we'll see what's under the bowling alley.
And it's
Now,
the hammer.
have Darkwood access.
Utaka's still doing their fingerprint star cleanup. Grabbing the missile behind the wave gate room. And Gravity's location is just bombs.
I mean, you get your worth out of the hammer, despite the fact that you have to go back for the bow, off of the Rex Reserve. But I mean, I'd say it's still a win in the end, despite the fact that that particular problem.
I mean, other than okay, so how many rooms and dungeons are locked by the bow? You have Palace of Darkness. Eastern. I want to say Turtle Rock.
Turtle Rock doesn't really need doesn't need the bow, but Ganon's Tower does.
Okay. Oh, so definitely we'll have to grab the bow, if only for Ganon's Tower then.
Right, but but with this being 553, I guess to be fair, you still have Pod. If you can find the other medallion, other Metroid token, you probably don't need to worry about that token in Pod, because you still have Thieves Town you have Thieves Town as a crystal, you have Turtle Rock as a crystal, and Mire and Ice were the other Crane Metro tokens that are in the past. So if the Metroid token isn't in a awful spot, I would say, like, I don't know, Dragon or Ridley, then to be fair, we knew it was on Dragon Ridley anyway. So you have to like say which one of the two Super Metroid bosses do you not want to fight for that Metroid token. So yeah, I think so. Yeah, if that's, and then even then you still would have to mimic clip to get past the two mimic rooms in GT for you to not have the bow, to be able to finish the game without the bow.
Yeah, someone from chat saying that they rather skip Ridley. I can see that because Ridley is like really far out of the way. He's like the farthest away from like Turian, and is in a location that does not have a lot of item checks. On the other hand, depending on where the Metroid tokens are located, I mean, you could be. I mean, there's also the consideration you might be skipping a whole Metroid dungeon.
Right. And
I feel like a Metroid, depending on the Metroid dungeon, like Mystery Rider, as we saw earlier, which if I remember correctly, only has 2 item checks.
Yes.
You might want to skip Misery Mire instead.
Yeah. And even then you would, but that means you would have to get the bow. But in this case, Zedorific is going to get the bow after getting this, after getting the supers, super and the sword out of alpha power bombs. I mean, well, which makes sense. Hitaka had, or Zedorific saw it. You might as well pick it up now that you know where it is with the soup. Now you know where it is.
They're never going to be as close as you're ever going to be when it comes to backtracking.
Exactly. So Neoterific might feel a little bad considering the fact that you speed booster was just right there when it in relation to where everything is. So we'll have another bullying trip for Neoterific, just so we can get over to that bow. Now, after getting through the bowling alley cutscene, now Neoterific is on his way to get to the Rexship Reserve for that bow.
And then Hitaka finally picks up their power glove from Bomb Teresa. Who quickly goes down to a couple of super missiles.
So that with that bow now in hand for Neoterific, and with Dark World access also available, Neoterific won't know this until he gets over to Lights of the Pass, but he is in the he is in the vicinity of he will be able to clear to get a Metroid token.
Which one? Wait,
The pod one.
Oh, but Pod has a Metroid token?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't see that one. I only saw... Okay.
Yeah, Pod, Ice, and Meyer both had Metroid tokens. Or all have Metroid tokens.
Really pushed Metroid today. I mean, Zelda today. Oh, Hitaka's checking the back of the escape.
Yeah, with the glove, you want, that's one of your first things you check. Although you have boots as well, so we get some supers out of it though.
Arctic's heading towards Red Tower, it looks like. I wonder if they're heading towards doing an X-ray check.
Yeah, this was something that Neoterific opted to leave out in favor of getting the bow. So Neoterific still had some Red Tower checks to clear out. So this is definitely a case where Neoterific wants to check the he really wants to check the rest of Red Tower. Hitaka gets power bombs out of the Dark Cross out of logic. Out of logic because this isn't version 30. This game doesn't run on version 31 logic for Link to the Past. It's running on version 29 logic.
Mm. Oh wait, Needleroy is gonna head to Greek Brinstar. Oh, they're gonna check Waterway because they have speed booster now.
Okay.
But we'll have to do a Greek glitch to get past the gate in Green Hills, I believe it was called.
Green Hill Summits. Another name I do know.
It looks like Hitaka's gonna go do a brick ship now. Nito did save at the Red Tower, yes.
So, in Hitaka's case, he will be able to get through Rex ship all in one trip. Doesn't he won't double dip it.
Yep, and Nito-rific does decide to reset after seeing the heartbeats at Waterway. Alright, we have Nito-rific now going checking for X-Ray, while Hitaka is now facing off against Fantu. Nito-rific sees the tank and decides not to go for it. Looks like we're at 2 rounds so far for Fantoon on Hitaka's side.
It's a Fantoon down. That will be the second crystal for Hitaka. Three more to go before heading into GT. Well, once we have myths and stuff, but still, semantics. So, as it stands right now, both players are retracing each other's footsteps, and without because of that, it should be a good enough time to let them know, to let y'all know that definitely should give both Hitaka and Nito-rific a follow. They're putting on a show for us, and yeah, it's they're quite prolific players within this game, and definitely you should also give our restream team a follow. KR, I guess our tracker KR this is their first time doing trekking. I want to give them a follow.
That's okay. Yeah.
There we go. The command's all in there. But definitely you just have to give although KR doesn't have a Twitch, so to speak. Definitely you should give them their fair giving them their approval. They're doing a good job, and I'm Professor Render, and I'm joined with user Ria.
And we see Riffic is taking Creative Prom.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's a prom night for Riffic here on this lovely Monday evening here in the Eastern time.
Do you think either of the runners will check and see if what the green pendant prize is? Darker clears the rest of the attic with a speed to shine spark. Very nice. Ricky's gonna find out you take dimensional skip. Oh, they grabbed it.
Okay. I mean, it only takes like about a second or so, but it's
Sure, there's no fanfare, so.
Right, yeah. And might be wanting to do it in case if New River wants to go for stand-up, but even then, you still Hitaka is also well at over 70 tanks.
Plus, they have a bit of a reserve. They have a reserve, at least one reserve tank as a bit of a safety if they just go for stand-up glitch. More steps retracing as Hitaka checked us out Sky Missiles while Riffic picked up Samir at High Jump Boots location. Very shortly they'll probably pick up Spacer for some little bit more beam firepower. Ooh, picked up the high jump boots E-tank. So now both the runners have 8 E-tanks. And Riffic spots the fire rod. While Hitaka begins their bowling.
Yeah, and that will lead to the hammer and the bow for Hitaka. Hitaka will have Darkwood access plus the bow, and like I mentioned before, Hitaka will finish out the entirety of Rex's ship all in one in a single dip, not a double dip like Riffic did. And there's the bow for Hitaka. Okay, so with the bow in hand, Hitaka, also with the hammer in hand, Darkwood access, we'll see. I think Hitaka will then go over to Link to the Past, because at this point you have everything you really care about. If it will get the bombos off of Crumble Tower. And at the moment, Yurific will also be making his way over to Croc. That will lead to Boots and Quake. Also the fire went off of the Croc escape, but still. And yep, as I thought, Hitaka will head into Link to the Past. Will be heading into the Dark World now. At this point, you have options. You already know that you have 2 crystals that you've obtained through Super Metroid. You got one of the Super Metroid. You got your green pendant from Super Metroid as well. There's still 3 more to go before you finish. Okay, we're gonna have to keep check from Hitaka. That's Varia. Got a heart, a reserve tank, cape, and spring ball. So, okay, Varia's good. So yeah, you definitely. So you had to go over to Rex Ship to even gain that fire to gain access to the fire rod in the boots. Also, Quake. Right. You know that there's a Metroid token here, so you might as well clear it out. We'll also turn in the green pendant while we're here. For a bottle.
Although I always find I want to have like at least like a green potion just to be safe.
And our tracker, KR, mentioning that Ridley is the red crystal. So Dragon will have to have the last Metroid token. And that's actually, and in this situation, you're actually kind of happy to see that, because when you have access to, when you have grab suit, clear that out, and you don't have to worry about Meyer. Well, no, you don't even have to worry about. Well, no, great. It's you don't have to worry about Meyer in this case, because you could just take the Meridia cross game portal to head over to Ice. Once you have Mitts.
Plus, I think Dragon's all it's just for a lot simpler to fight, since I mean, other than needing gravity suit, if you probably want anyways. But the real nice thing about it is that since the both brothers have grapple beam, they can just do the grapple beam.
Right. So Hitaka, after going through the Bollock side, will end up heading to the big heat chest. That was 5 keys, I think, or that might have been four. I don't know exactly.
I had like the most keys.
So at minimum, you need 4. There has to be 4 keys in the front 6 chests, but it can go all. But you can find. It doesn't have to be all like 4 keys. You can either find 5 keys or all of the keys in the front. Oops. Hitaka accidentally mirrored trying to get the bomb ready.
Is this down there? That's nothing.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense since you came out of Prague and you're doing you already have Bear and Fire Rod. Like I mentioned before, it's pretty easy. And plus, one thing you
There's always no logic as you can talk about the Prague.
is what you can do is unlike Hitaka, Ito can do the front of River can do E-Step Mountain because Hitaka never wasn't able to do E-Step Mountain just because didn't have a hammer or hook shot. With Meteorific coming into Death Mountain with the hammer coming out of Super Metroid in Wreck Ship under the bowling alley.
I'm sure we connected here because apparently I'm coming off really quiet.
Right.
Alright, chat. Mic test.
I think it's still kind of quiet on your end. Yeah. Just. Either way, though, Hitaka will be heading over to King, and we'll get the trade token. But at this point, you don't really care about the token because like it's 3 crust, it's 3 tokens. You should be fine. Yurvik did check the book from Ithata, but it is a rupee hoard, so that's 300 rupees. And Neurific will get that big key. We'll head up to fight Moldorm. Well, first just gotta go through everything else, but point stands up. That hard hat beetle playing a little kind to Neurific, knocks him into the pit. While Hitaka will be heading over to Pod to fight that Helmus Arcane. Well, in the back of Pod, rather, I should say. He's already in Pod. To fight Helmus Arcane. Still quiet. Quiet. But we get in this Unific Master Sword for Unific. Here. Unific wanted to just use slashes. A little uncommon, but will get punished for that by Moldorm, just knocking him into the very bottom left of the platform.
That's my test.
I think that's fine. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. So normally Genesis has not been a huge problem for me. So
Yeah, but Unific having a lot of trouble with Moldorm here. Has decided to, or I guess with Moldorm just not playing nice, just throwing a bad angle on Unific. It's not really a fault of Unific in particular, just Moldorm just throwing a bad angle.
it's always been my experience that Moldorm is either a quick bam, thank you, ma'am, and then or just a constant troll.
Yeah, Moldorm's a jerk. It could be a very jerk. Could be a jerk depending on how the game throws the angles at him. But eventually, Meteorific gets the kill. We'll get the second crystal. You definitely would have punished like East Step Mountain. You feel really kind of bad considering that Moldorm fight, the Moldorm, I guess, process was really rough. We did find Plasma Beam on the Floating Island though.
That might be worth getting, especially if since that's a pretty big fire boost.
Taka heading to Catfish. We'll be mirroring after this is done. We'll be checking the flipper checks here, and also get the flipper check and get the Zora area done.
Isn't there also the waterfall? Or was that
waterfall? Yeah, it's a waterfall, Zora Ledge, and Zora in this area. So this is a flipper check.
Oh,
and there's Graph. So yeah, that's a little sketchy for Hitaka, just because of the fact that just considering that Hitaka had gone to finish he got to finish Hera early without the hammer, and that's the only thing you get out of here. Zora just gives out some missiles, which we'll say no to because we will need them from Mother Brain anyway. But we'll be heading back into Super Metroid through the cross game portal. More likely than not, this will be a play for Meridia.
Probably checking all of Meridia and then facing off against Dragon.
Yeah, that will give him a token. Yeah, with the plasma, with the gravity suit that you got from Estep Mountain, makes sense to go here. mainstream missiles is a red shield.
Grab super should just use the pack. Looks like we'll have to check out mobile terminal next. Jeez, I'm gonna go in for Skull Woods.
With the fire rod that you have, this makes sense. You also you have a crystal to clear, so yeah, you better. This is easy. An easy choice for Hitaka.
Personally, I always like to just, even if it's not hard, I like to just do a quick Skull Woods, because oftentimes it's like you're taking that village portal, so you're like right outside of it. So you might as well. I feel like you might as well.
Me and Skull Woods have a really weird relationship. It's I won't do Skull Woods if I don't have a fire rod and it's a crystal. But if it's a pendant, then I don't care. I'll just go in.
I do believe Dragon's actually on logic chat, since they do have speed booster. Making the spine sharp. Well, wait, no, that would require a short charge, and that's not normal logic.
Right.
And the gravity jump, as Doug's mentioned, is not in logic, so technically Dragon's not in logic at the moment. I believe you'll need either bomb for infinite bomb jump or space jump. Maybe high jump if that's enough to wall jump out of there.
Our tracker is pointing out that you can still do it since most of it's power bomb probable. You lock space jump through Dragon. There's another there's a harpies and a bottle off the water hole.
Mostly just to escape that route.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Although, I would imagine these are runners should be able to get the sword charge within Dragon's room. It's either a very tight double 2-tap sword charge, or if you're able to do a 3-tap, then it's a much more
In the meantime, Hitaka will get Skull Woods cleared out. That will be the third crystal for Hitaka. 2 more to go.
You know, Richard finds the flute in the aqueducts, so that's gonna make I'll give some fast travel once they unlock the bird.
Hitaka will find missiles off the pedestal, so that's out of the way.
Well, flying bombs is missiles.
Yes, flying bombs is missiles.
Yeah, some of those comments are just like not the most obvious to me.
Yeah, you'll if you play a lot more Link to the Past, you'll know some of the book names, the book messages. I've been doing Link to the Past for like 2 or 3 years now, so a lot of this is new information for me. Most of this is not new for me. So. Shovel and 10 arrows off of the left or right sandpit.
The shovel is kind of really iffy because you never know if it's like then it just raises a big question.
For on Hitaka's side, there is a half magic off of the bumper ledge. Definitely will pick that up here since it makes sense. You're right. It's a free convenience item. You definitely pick up half magic here. Off of the King's Tomb, just bombs. And Hitaka will find an X-ray scope over in Graveyard Ledge.
Oh, I hate doing this. This spring ball check without the space jump.
Yeah, this is I believe this is to get to Shack Tool.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of space jump. Oh dear.
Especially since they're they have to do it as a gravity jump.
And with space jump being found over on Hitaka's side. Oh wow.
Was it in which one of the huts was it in?
C-shaped house.
Oh, okay, so that's in like the upper right of Dark Village, right?
Yeah, that's top right of Village of Outcasts. It's right next to it's Thieves Town is like to the left of the left of it. Speaking of Thieves Town, here we are in Thieves Town. This will be for the 4th crystal. And there's Ice Beam. And eventually Nidorefic gets it. Now we'll do the Shack Tool check. Nice Shack Tool.
Shack 2 is like one of those moments where you're like, okay, it's time to get a sandwich.
This is basically the longer equivalent of off of the Hera tile room, where you just get a coffee break.
So I find the tile room to be more annoying to wait through.
Well, if you set yourself up with the pegs inside the pegs, then you're fine.
That's true, because most of the noise is just if you don't know that peg invulnerability, then you're kind of stuck constantly trying to dodge it.
And Shack Tool only gives out a heart piece, so that's quite a lot of time missed by Nidorefic. Just try to get it, and then not paying out anything once you finally get it. So this will be Nidorefic to the left sand pit to get the shovel.
I'll take out that road quick and easy. Some of those, getting it through some of those gaps can be a little bit twitchy. No, didn't they get the spring ball? That makes
Hitaka is the one with the spring ball, and that's not a hype cave.
Okay, so okay. So Nidorefic had to do it the hard way.
Yes.
Yeah, because typically I end up having to do like either doing like a long jump or just like do a wall jump into a morph ball. But there's still very little space to do that.
Right. So for the crystal completion, the best possible way to get your 5 crystals has to be through swamp, which would require the hook shot
Mhm.
in this case. Now, being sake, if you find Samaria, you clear Turtle Rock. Yes, it's longer, but you will be right next to GT at that point. You don't have to climb. You don't have to climb the mountain again. But even even then, you're still gonna have to hunt down. You still have to go through ice or mire to get the second Metroid token.
Chat, really is a token, I believe. I believe a crystal. Excuse me. I believe it was a red crystal.
Yes. Yes,
Which
and
makes me realize that worst case scenario, we could have a go-bo item locked behind Pyramid Fair.
yeah, yeah, and in that case, you're still just gonna go and clear you're still gonna clear out Turtle Rock anyway, even because Hitaka already cleared out Thieves Town. I didn't mention it already, but Thieves Town was already cleared out by Hitaka. But by that point, you're going to you get to Samaria, you're heading to GT, heading up to Turtle Rock for GT. But you are missing out on one of the tokens that's in the Dark World. Nidorevic also, by the way, is now heading into Hypecave to get the Varia Cape and Spring Ball. Just 20 rupees off the dig game. Right, and yeah, and this I was saying this under the assumption that you had mitts in the first place. Just to clarify, I mentioned that you had Samaria to finish the game, but this is under assumption that you get you had the mitts ahead of time, or if Samaria first before getting for them, if you get Samaria before you head into be able to get the mitts, then I would say you go to Turtle Rock then. But I guess even then, you still probably would choose to go to Mire instead. Get the crystal off of Ridley, and you'd be fine. I don't know. I'm not really. I'm not good at routing SMZ3. I'm more of a Link to the Past router.
Well, we did, speaking of routing, we did see Universic took the Dark portal to the back to Eastern Meridia. So they're probably go face off against Dragon shortly.
Yeah, in that case, I think you just have to wall jump to it. Because Nidorevic does not have space jump. I think you can watch up that? I don't know.
Well, yeah, they do have high jump, so that does make Dragon logic, wasn't it? No, wait.
Do they? It's...
No, I'm thinking of a different match. It's also
That's what I was just gonna say.
Oh, there's our magic powder. So that opens up magic bat.
Yeah, it's also a safety. powders off
turning
the
the
crush
anti-fairies
missiles.
into regular fairies.
Yeah.
There's been a couple of times where I'm like, I wish I could. I had the magic powder for that. Hitaka taking Coliseum and cathedral item, which is a heart piece. That cathedral item is something that's very easily missed and forgotten about.
In real quick, now it's about Stragon after waiting out the Keiko Love cutscene. I say Keiko Love because this is one of my favorite. This is one of my favorite fun facts with this game. Is the little Dragon dudes or whatever, they spell out Keiko Love, and that was a thing that was added in by a programmer for Super Metroid for girlfriend at the time.
Oh wow, he talking about the bits. So the Dragon only had a missile, and then in addition to the mitts, Hitaka finds the lamp and the mushroom. Norfair Reserve is stacked.
So at this point, you are already committing to just killing Ridley, and then following that up with no, I should be fair. You don't have Samaria, so you can't go into Mire yet for a Dragon for a Metroid token.
I mean, I don't know if I would mention to just like poke into that left side hut of Mystery Mire, and maybe that crossword puzzle in the upper right. Oh, there's our regular bombs and speed booster missile. Freaking Scott Hussein at the Coliseum. I mentioned Eaterific's gonna go and check the plasma. I might check the plasma beam room. They do have screw attack to take care of the priors in that room. So they might have issues getting out of that room.
Knowing Eaterific, this shouldn't be a problem. More power bombs for Hitaka.
Looks like Hitaka's not going for lower Norfair.
Okay, I guess. Oh, I guess Hitaka wants to go. Hitaka wants to go to Death Mountain here, and
resetting.
And this is so that Hitaka, he won't notice, but Hitaka will get the gravity suit here. But it's also lead into Dark Mountain through Super Bunny and the one check in Hookshot Cave. Unless Hitaka can hover. In that case, you can get everything in there if you can get both hovers. Hitaka will get the 300 rupees from Ether Tablet. Now, if Samaria does show up in here, this is actually really good because because that'll be a clear for that's a clear of Turtle Rock, and you're right here. Which means you'll head into GT. But still, you would be down ice, or ice or mire, and that might be Hitaka's way through. But then again, the Dragon token is also there. Just sitting there on, or the Metroid token is there over on Dragon. So I don't know. And also, as chat is adding as well, that Samaria might be required for the right side of GT if the Bicky ends up being on that right side, whether it be in Tile Room or the Compass Room. But Hitaka will get the space jump. Well, we'll get the gravity suit. And Nidorific will do the dick game after finding out that the flute spot wasn't anything in particular. Hitaka actually was gonna originally set up for the bomb jump, but then realized, oh wait, I have a bear portal here, so why am I doing this? I actually could just here through the bear portal and just it'd be fine. Nidorific will have to clear the text box here as Nidorific runs out of time for the dig game. Another that was, I believe, our last bottle that Hitaka finds in Super Bunny Cave. Now, I wonder if now the thing is, since Hitaka chose the plasma beams here, will he take it?
Something you can't easily get.
Yeah, it's right there. It's an option. And the one chest in
Oh, nope, looks like he's not going for it.
yeah, the one chest that you're able to get in Hookshot Cave is just an E-Tank. And opt in choosing to, and since Hitaka chose to skip that out, then that means that plasma beam will never be picked up, I'd imagine. We will get a Spike Cave check as Nidorific will turn the magic bat. For missiles.
Aimed it just right. Just a piece of the heart.
Okay, so that's a safe quit. Nidorific will check the sick kid here. And that's for some missiles. And Nidorific will activate the flute. Wait, where did we get that flute? I forget.
It was the peacock was actually super different.
Oh.
It's part of Marie.
Oh. Okay.
It was like
which Hitaka is heading into. So that will give when Hitaka gets that flute, that will lead to Lord Norfair and Meyer access.
So Taka's gonna go for Dragon as well now. And Universe, I'm guessing Skullwoods.
This will be for the third crystal. That Nidorephic has due. And for Hitaka's case, getting out of Dragon won't be too tough because you have the thing you need to get out of get yourself out in the first place. Second, now waiting out the Cake of Love cutscene. Getting ready to do the X-ray strat.
And Rebels. Although they missed their chance for the quick grapple, so they're gonna do through the light grapple. There it is.
I meant to grapple, not X-ray. Two different things.
Yep. X-ray is charged plasma.
Yes, and with Hitaka choosing to leave plasma, and with no knowledge of the charge beam, you have to do the grapple method instead. So that's we're now up to up to Metroid tokens for Hitaka. Will now match Meteorific's amounts. We'll head to the flute to get the flute soon from the aqueduct.
Looks like Taka's gonna go and check the two quick sand rooms. We're gonna go grab that shovel, maybe?
The tracker, our tracker KR actually corrected me saying that actually there's only one token, not Renerific, not two.
Hitaka picks up their flute.
So that will lead to Meyer and Lord Norfair access. So that will get in this case, Hitaka will have access to GT after this is done. After finishing up, or not after this is done, after clearing out Ridley, and also getting the Meyer token. In this case, you're hoping that the big key isn't on the right, because right now, if I'm not mistaken, we're in a Strogo. Although to be fair, I'm not. This is all hinging on the possibility of Hitaka can hover Moldorm 2.
Universe had a very close call there.
Yeah, the moth
art and no magic left.
The moth fight can go bad really quickly. just because of the way that the game handles damage for moth.
Mm-hmm.
And Nidorevic sees the thing that was on the pedestal, which was the the missiles, and that's a it probably was not ready from Nidorevic. Doesn't have to go and clear out Eastern Desert in this case. Nidorevic will now check. Will now look at what's on the bumper ledge. Will actually say no to the half magic. And also want to bring up chat as well. Ice is also a possibility, but also with the lack of Samaria, for an icebreaker that might just not go all that well. Like that might not be a good idea.
It would be a pretty big. It would be a gamble because you, if you're going to ice cave, ice policy. I imagine you'll be hoping that Samario or Hookstruck is in there. I would imagine.
Yeah, and your better and your best bet really is to try to see to go to either Mire or Desert. The Horrific will pick up the X-ray scope for from off of Graveyard Ledge. So I think in this case, after looking at Hitaka's side, after you're done with Meridia, you're gonna activate the flute to go and to finish up to go to Mire, possibly go to Lower Norfair. You don't have Samaria, so you have an option here. If you could, and you or you go to Ice to declare to get the last Trigon token or last Metroid token that way. Minus Samaria. But right now Hitaka's going to do Shack Tool. Hitaka will find out that it's just a heart piece. We'll pick it up though. And in this scenario, it's like it's fine because you had you didn't have to worry about you didn't have to like spend a good chunk of time trying to do grab jump because you could have just got it right, like you got it like right there. So you had space jump and stuff to make it work. So scared me for a second. Using your little strategy.
Sorry, I was checking my mic settings.
Well, that is way loud now.
How's this?
Still kind of loud. I don't know.
Okay, I think I have a suspicion of what happened to my mic. For some reason, instead of my actual headset, my webcam was suddenly taking over.
Oh. Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, that's something I always hate when stuff like that happens.
I
Anyway,
just
though,
because right before you said I was too loud, I just disabled. I noticed that my webcam mic was on, so I tried disabling that, and then right after that, you said, "Yeah, you're too loud," instead of being too quiet.
yeah. So anyway, the terrific is heading to lower is gonna be on its way to lower Norfair now. So that will lead you to Meyer. Yeah, but this will lead Uniterrific away from the midst. Which okay, that's fine enough. Yeah, and also Space Jump too. Like that's also one other thing too is like Space Jump and Mitts were there as well. And
Oh, nice! They got the crane gate glitch first try.
nice.
That's not easy because that's like a from that position. It's only a single frame. You only have a single frame window.
Oh wow. Okay. So Hitaka is heading to ice now, which this is so that you can get the third this is so you can get the third token out of the way. Of course, if I go on to research, take a look at the Showcase Showdown. Nothing in particular, though.
Okay, I need a resetting after seeing Gold Trees doesn't have anything of interest, and I don't blame him because if you don't have Charge Beam, it's more of a pain because then you have to waste a tremendous amount of super missiles.
Right, and that you want to keep your super missiles as first. You want to use your super missiles for something different. Hitaka will find the bit key in the Pengator room, which means it's logically hookshot locked. But not like Hitaka really matters because this is going to be Hitaka going to go ahead and hit up hit out to do the ice palace bomb jump. Not icebreaker. He just has some aria. And the Horrific will be heading to my area, rather. First checkup on the list is Checkerboard Cave. Hitaka is lined up perfectly for the Ice Palace Bomb Jug. Good job. Just 20 rupees on the Checkerboard Cave. It's gonna wait for the firebar to pass. That way he doesn't fall and have to do another IPPJ. From the Meyer shed, just nothing in particular, just some missiles and some rupees. And Dieterific will be heading into Desert. We'll pick up the Harpies here. It is on 8 hearts in Link to the Past, where Dieterific isn't a good spot for into Metroid. That's nice bomb jump, by the way, from Hitaka. It's actually surprisingly simple to get. You could spin clip to it, which means you could get yourself lined up on the last possible pixel before you fall.
Yeah, bomb jump is something I still kind of struggle with.
Yep, it's you know how to spin clip where you just release a spin when you are trying to recover from a fall or from a pit. You will end up on the farthest pixel from the pit before you fall. Or farthest pixel towards the pit before you fall. So and that's actually good for lighting up a bunch of bomb jumps. It's really good for IPBJ in particular, just because you don't have to concern yourself with how you line yourself up perfectly for the first pixel. And yeah, and that's something you'd love to have. Anyway,
looks like Desert Palace doesn't have anything of interest.
No. So in here we're gonna go into Meyer. Now we can only go get everything except for because we don't have Samaria.
There's Nidorufic doesn't have to has not picked up the lamp, have they?
No.
Because they have not gone to Norfair Reserve. So even if they're lucky enough to find the cane in here, they're gonna have to either do it blindly or go back for that lamp and try to find that lamp.
And in this case, and finishing up, if cane is here, you would have to do it blind, which I wouldn't be surprised if Nidorufic does it, because he's good. Meyer Dark Room is oh no.
Oh,
that's one awful cane spot.
It just feels like all the luck is going Hitaka's way right so far.
It was on Ice Tea. Oh, that, my friends, is an IPBJ required seat. So that should be go mode actually, because you're gonna be clearing out Meyer for the you're gonna clear out ice for the third token. And then you have Turtle Rock available to you, or Meyer, whichever you choose.
Isn't the hook shot required, or they can work around that?
Right. You logically you need the hook shot, but if you could, which I mean, yeah, I could play the Blank Top hook shot because of course I do. But if you knew how to hover, then yeah, you don't want to worry about hookshot. But yeah, you still need hookshot. That's but if hookshot's here, that'd be funny. It's right here.
So the boss of Ice Palace had the hook shot too.
Yes. It's right
Oh
here.
my! Oh my god!
So now we're in gold mode. Oh, just under 2 hours. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I'm checked out for the night. Wow. So not only was this was Samaria right here, but the hookshot was right here too. And oh, well, so to clarify something, the right side is hookshot locked, not the whole dungeon.
Right, because he had that one big gap, but Hitaka was able to work around it by just bomb jumping it.
Well, yeah, but like that's yeah, but I think that's but that's more just so for Ice Palace logic. Ice Palace logic is dependent on a few variables.
Mm-hmm.
How key with the key placement. So when I mentioned that the big key was in the Pengator room, and I mentioned it was hookshot locked, I meant the right side, not the entire dungeon.
Mm-hmm. But if you were to do it perfectly logically, you would first have to complete the boss, and then you would have been able to go back and then do the right side.
Yeah, which means with the right side being, well, I guess to be fair, the right side it wouldn't matter because it wasn't anything. But you would have to go back in you would have to get Samaria, because the Samaria was already an iced tea, which is amusing. But yeah, so this you get to go with swap here, which is good. You don't even need to worry about Ridley, which is what we wanted to see. We didn't want to bother killing Ridley for the crystal, and we're just feeling good, and we're gonna do a dive down here.
As far as ammo counts, since this was asked in chat for Mother Brain, I do believe they have enough ammo. I vaguely recall them having about 100 supers. 100 regular missiles and then 50 supers. Hitaka does have ice beam, so they can do the ice up skip. And then now normally Mother Brain 2 needs about 60 supers, but since they have so many missiles, that should make up for the difference. And we did see a nice, what was it, deep dive?
Diver down.
Diver down.
Yeah, that's that's the trick where you abuse the fact that you on the right when you clip into the railing, you can actually hop down, and because the water you see it's just a graphic, and the only way to trigger the swimming is to jump down from the auto stairs. But you're on the same layer. But you are the same layer as when you jump down. So, by doing this clip into the to hop down, you actually are hopping down to the next layer down, past where the water graphic is supposed to be, for you to get the 2 items and finish the dungeon.
So basically, you're going underneath the water.
Yeah, you're basically going under the water, but because of the fact that it is a graphic.
So now this just gives me like a mental image of Link just on the bottom and it's just you're looking at the water above his head.
Nice. But we do have 5 crystals now. We can now play our favorite game. So 21 chests and a torch for 22 possible locations. One of them has a big key. Numbers from 1 to 22. Guesses in the chats where you think it is.
And need a horrific just getting through the worst room in the game using the spring ball jump.
Yeah, and if you get it exactly or you're closest to it, or basically prices right rules. We're close to it, but close to either above or below, then cool, good on you.
What's your pick?
I tend to go to 11 just because. It's just 11's cool. It's a fun number. It's a little fun little number.
All right, let's send number that. We'll see what happens.
I didn't put it in the chat, even though Tara already did 11. We'll share the rewards.
Do you think there's much choice between going left or right side of Ganon Tower?
It's very
Or you just-
subjective.
Hmm?
It's subjective. It's really based on what it really depends on the person. You going left or doing left or right GT really is like make that call for yourself. In that moment, sometimes some people will go hope room then full laps. Some people will go for a what's called a dark petition strat or DM strat, as I prefer to call it. You go go left first, stop at the stop post room, mirror, then go right. It might be either partial or full. So we'll see what Hitaka ends up going for. This is going to be a full right play because he did spot the first key. Got a key in the first in the hope room, so that means you go left, you go right here. So this is actually what you typically do go for. Now if so if we did not have Fire Rod here, we would have cleared out Swamp, which, by the way, that should be swamps should be cleared up before I talk aside up for the tracker. Swamp, then maybe Turtle Rock, because you're there, and that would if you wanted to go full right, and if the big key was there, which it isn't, you would have to do a bob jump. To get to that right side, although you have to set it up in a very specific way. But Hitaka will go for right, get the small key. That's already up to 7 or 6 rather. This is 7. Oh, and Nidorbig's doing a Ridley fight for the crystal.
Picking that. Looks like got him locked into a Pigo, and there's the final death scene. Crystal 5. Ooh, another sword for Hitaka.
Off of number 11, so hey, I got a nice. You get what's arguably the better sword.
I'll admit that some of these later bosses until they start getting silly difficult when you don't have a good sword.
Right. Yeah. 12 is just the bomb capacity upgrade. So now Hitaka will head to the fire stake room.
Oh, nice dodge.
Yeah, if you bonking up against that wall lets you jump over the fire snake, and that will and actually it's good. That's good to. It's a good way to dodge that fire snake. Or if you
Yeah, one of these days, I feel like I should learn some basic Link to the Past speedrunning. Just because for one of those times where I do play this SMZ3 randomizer, I learned a few things like diver down, as you mentioned. Although I probably forgot it already, but there's a couple. But a lot of the other attack or just an optimal movement is something that's I'm not familiar with still.
Yeah, knowing the tech and also with the optimal room times is really good. I will mention though, high jump boots was in Rando room.
Rando room?
that's the room that you go. That's the room you go to. Where the fort chest on the far right. You only see it in rando, and you don't see it. You never see this in the NMG speedrun.
I mean, by the time in a normal speedrun, I mean you're just going straight for the B key, and then
yeah, yeah, and that's why you. That's why it's called. That's why you. That's particularly called random room because you never see it. You never see it in the vanilla speedrun, or it in like vanilla, or if you're gonna playing it, you might just stop at the random room. But who's like counting here? 21. We will have a tile room. This is a tile room scene because of course it is. If in any of was there really any like with a scene where you had Samaria and on ice in the most comical spots, I would argue. I would say you have this. You go into tile room. This is on number 22. So, yeah, so this will be 22 for just for the official counts. Hitaka is right where the chest is going to be, so it has to hold on to. We'll have to hold the cape with the wall with the cape. That will make it so you will not drain any magic because the game, for some reason, doesn't like when you do that, or like just halts the magic depletion when you do that. I don't really have any technical reason for it. It just does. So, yep, that's 22.
I guess it means our 15th one.
So the closest, 22 wins, but since there wasn't a 22, the closest one was GamerX 459 with 15. So good on you. Yeah, I try to be fair, but it's like I don't want them to like I don't want this game to like to go out before no one wins it. Wouldn't it be fair? I mean, you gotta give out rando seeds or internet points somehow. Anyway, Hitaka is gonna start the gauntlet now. I don't expect Hitaka to check any more chests following this. So top four will the 4 chests in number GT will probably go unchecked, unless for whatever reason Hitaka looks for a sword, which you have tempered at this point. You don't really care all that much.
I mean, I think it isn't for Z3 runners. Isn't like tempered is like comfortable enough.
Yes.
And then gold is kind of like it's nice to have, but not like required.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Tempered,
and then of course you could do it with mastered, but then it's like that's a bit of a pain.
Well, yeah, because tempered. So in tempered, this case, tempered in this is considered the best possible way to start out because you don't have to worry about spins on a master sword fight. And in this and with a sword, with a tempered sword, you can actually directly hit get it, and you don't have to like do anything like special like spins. And gold sword, with gold sword, you're basically guaranteeing a 1-in-1. It doesn't really save you all that much time. The time difference that you save is very, very marginal.
I think the only time, the only time I do know when I was facing the boss of Turtle Rock, I was actually struggling a bit with working with only. I can't remember if it was only tempered or master sword, but I was not having. I kept running out of magic before the 2 heads would die.
Yeah, that would sound like it's a Master Sword fight because that or maybe just fire, just might be just magic consumption. I don't know, but yeah, as I kind of figured, Hitaka is actually opting to skip the remaining chests in GT, which would surprise me if we didn't want to check Moldarm 2 as well. Just there really isn't a need to do it, or you're just gonna pull it anyway. I guess fine. I guess at that point you're just kind of just picking it for just an extra collection rate, just more of a collection rate thing. I don't know, maybe just add one extra thing to the collection rate, and like you're basically paying 2 seconds just to pull that. It's not like you necessarily need to pull it in this case, like on these other collectible equipment. But anyway, this is actually some decent agate patterns for once. Although Hitaka does get hit by one of the attacks, so. And a little trouble with that one. So there we go. That's Eka 2 down.
Wait, is Nidorefic going to do Turtle Rock?
Yes. So this, I guess, in a way, it. But
or is he just pre-opening it? Because he doesn't have the Hurricane.
Yeah, no, so I know what this is a pre-open. Right. Right. So sometimes runners will just open up Turtle Rock, just even if they don't have Samaria. So yeah, so you have a Ganon fight for Hitaka. This fight's gonna be pretty straightforward. And you get the good corner as well, so it's free spins for days, and you're very, very comfortable in the spot because nothing really is going to hurt you, and it's a free hook shot. The Fire Bat's got in the way, and Ganon did end up getting a Fire Bat spin off. Ducka does end up converting that though for a hit. And now into gate phase 4. Yeah, that one. Okay, one of the did get hit twice. Did really will pick up the plasma beam. I was a little. Hitaka was relatively safe because those firebat hits was when he was still in the middle of the room.
Mm-hmm.
But get a single GF for Hitaka. That's one final boss done.
Alright, Nidorefic checking Spike Cave. Hitaka resetting to face off against Minor Brain.
Yeah, and that will directly with the three tokens he has, this is directly heading over to Torian.
And it was 110 missiles, 70 super stats, and Ice Beam, so overkill as far as ammo goes.
And this will be a very comfy fight for Hitaka. And Nidorefic will is heading into the Dark World from the Village of Outcast spot. We'll clear Thieves Town here. We'll also head into the Village of Outcasts to get those checks done. But Hitaka has already started the Turian run. And with Ice Beam being early, you just take Metroids out cannon.
Yeah, they come real simple with Ice Beam. Just you can start. Ooh, nice. Some two for one kill right there in the second Metroid room by Hitaka.
And Dear River will get the space jump from C-shaped house. And that's going to be a very nice triple from Hitaka.
That one has a pretty good normalized strat to group up that final Metroid room to gather them all up. Basically running to the right, then running to the left, more ball as you land, and then they should naturally all gather up for you to do a quick kill on.
Okay.
Nidarific picks up their Ice Beam in the front of Thieves. The Thieves Hideout, was it? What it was called?
Yeah, that's Thieves Town. Hitaka, I think, was trying to do baby skips, but just does get hit by the big Metroid. But does face to the right, so you do save time there.
Save the frames.
Yeah, save a frame, but still. Well, I actually opted to do a Crystal Flash here, because you had the stuff for it, so.
It was still plentiful ammo. They I don't care.
Yeah, you don't care. You don't even need to do the refill. Just do a Crystal Flash for it.
Although I wonder if it's how much time difference does it make? Because I mean, there is a door transition and then this recharge sequence. But then on the other hand, there is a slight time delay for doing the Crystal Flash.
I think it is faster. I don't know. I don't know. I would say I would time that, but I don't play Super Metroid, so. But Hitaka does get his M skip, so.
I want to say it's probably a little bit faster. Yep, Hitaka's now facing off against Motherbrain Stage 2 with over 60 missiles and 50 supers, plenty of ammo. This should be a really quick fight.
Yeah, this will be a clean fight through and through.
Honestly, I don't think Hitaka's even caring about this what attacks that Motherbrain occasionally throws their way. Oh,
yeah.
We're not going for a stand-up glitch. Though considering how I don't believe Hitaka saved recently, and the stand-up glitch can soft lock you from things going wrong. Oh right, no charge beam.
Yeah, and without charge, there's no reason to do a stand-up. So in that case, you just wait it out. And yeah, as you mentioned, you're probably depending on when Hitaka saved and quit, you might just have if you soft lock during the stand-up glitch. I think if Hitaka hadn't saved, during this whole time Hitaka had never saved, so you would have to restart the entire Turian run from the gunship.
Okay, so it looks like Hitaka's set for like a sub 230 run. Now, obviously, that's helped by the fact that this is only a 5 crystal 3 Metroid boss requirement. But has a sub 3 hour been done? Has that kind of time ever been done? Come close. What's the closest that's been done in a full 8 crystal 4 Metroid bosses? Steve,
A 774. I
do
think
you have
it's
any idea?
somewhere around sub 3
So,
on normal.
I vaguely recall that it looked like back in the GDQ demonstration when we had Andy and Oats and Goats. They had it looked like they were going to do it in like about 2 hours, but they spent like an hour trying to find the Pegasus boots, and again, at the counter key was boots locked.
Oh. But that's about to bring down. Now we're doing the now it's time for the escape. This is gonna pretty much be the end of this one.
Oh,
so,
okay. Chat has the record. Far says the world record for a 774 is a 2 hours 9 minutes from Aussie.
Aussie.
And welcome Raiders from Speed Gaming 3.
Yeah, we're watching the tail end of this Super Metroid Link to the Past combo randomizer. Hitaka's already is going to escape. Well, Neurovic needs to go into Ice Palace to finish to get Samaria and Hookshot, so that you can.
Is Samaria really required, or is it just more of a major convenience item?
I'd say it's more so it might be necessary. I don't know. Hookshot's definitely necessary, but yeah, Hitaka isn't even gonna bother saving the animals. So that's gonna be it. GG's in the chat for Hitaka. We'll finish first on our restream with an official race time.
All right, for the Switch.
Official race time.
Open up that door, the Switch in the Ganon's Tower.
Right. Official race time is 2/27/2020. We'll also take first overall. And yes, you were right. The tile room, since tile room's big, it's a tile room seed. You definitely need to. You have to clear out. You have to get some Samaria here. So yeah, this was sure with the Ice Palace spot, with the Ice Palace thing being a thing, Ice Palace being Ice Palace. It was not bad. Here's Hitaka here in the booth with us. GG and well played.
Thanks, GG's.
So first thing on my mind, Ice Palace with that Samaria and Tuck shot. Yeah, that was a thing that got me in shambles because I was saying, oh wait, you're in go mode because cover. But oh wait, you still have to you have Hookshot. Hookshot's still out. Oh wait, Hookshot's right here in Cold Stare. Dead.
Yeah, I was in like hover go mode for like a long time. If I had done, I think when I got, I don't even remember what the last item before that, but like I was in like Suitless Meridia, like high jumpless lava dive hover go mode, which is a lot of dumb stuff to do. But I don't hover, so I was still looking for Hookshot. I think Mitz was the last item besides Hookshot I needed. Yeah.
Yes.
And actually, I made a mistake. I thought I was gonna do Ice Palace after Mountain, but then I got Gravity Suit and that distracted me to go do Meridia. And when I was like halfway done with Meridia, I realized I should have done Ice first. So I lost like 10 minutes to doing Meridia, so I was kind of nervous towards the end. Because I figured like I would have been done 10 minutes early if I didn't do Meridia. But yeah.
Yeah, this actually wasn't a bad scene, even despite the weird stuff.
I mean, from what it seemed like to me, it did seem like the routing, just the way the cards fell, it did seem like a luck was mostly on Hitaka's side. The only time it up until Ganon's tower key.
Yeah, I was thinking that when I was in GT, I thought, okay, there's actually a gotcha in the seed if you were going to planning on hovering, and you'd think, let's say after I got mitts, and I think, okay, I'm in go mode if I hover. Well, then what you would do is you'd go mode Ice Palace. You wouldn't find the cane, but you would find the hook shot, and then you'd go to GT, find out the big key's locked on the cane side, then you have to go look for cane or something. But yeah, I thought of that would be an interesting kind of thing to trip someone up if they did that when I found out the big key was in tile room.
Would if say you had done that, would going back to Ice Palace be one of the things you would do first, or would you end up picking?
I wouldn't have done that because I don't hover, so I was looking for a hook shot anyway, so it was just full clearing stuff.
Fair enough.
So I don't know. I mean, in that situation, I guess I would just cry. I don't know, because then there's just all kinds of crap to go full clear. But yeah,
Right,
no, the
yeah.
scene wasn't really that bad. Nothing was in like a really dumb spot. I mean, even hookshot was like on a boss, like a required boss, pretty much. So
I don't have anything else to add on. If you got anything else to use here.
No, I don't think I have anything else.
top of wreck ship was loaded though. Hammer plus bow. That was fun.
Yeah, the wreck ship was pretty loaded. I remember that, and then I remember North Air Reserve also being pretty loaded for you, especially after we saw those mints.
Yeah,
and
that
then
had.
thought, oh wait, and it's like, wait, we still have more for you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and the way I did early game just worked out really well. I did, and Duck mentioned this last week to me, and I agreed that kind of, I think the meta for this new, where the crystal and bosses are shuffled, is to go to like Red Tower and right side Brinstar first, because then you wind up at like the junction between Bryn, Norfair, and Meridian. You can check all three of those boss rewards.
Yeah, the speed booster at Alpha Power Bombs did play heavily in your favor.
So then I found speed, and then at Norfair I saw the fire rod, and I thought I wanted that because I was gonna I was kind of iffy on getting it because I think I only had 3 E-tanks, but then there was another E-tank at high jump E-tank, so I thought, well, alright, I'll go get that so I have a fire source for Hera, because I'd also just found Mirror. In case like there's something in the basement or the big key's in the basement or whatever. And so I figure I'll just do the whole croc loop then. And boots were down there, so that worked out.
Now, I believe you mentioned that it's because of this new patch that you kind of came, that you have this new meta, and I believe it's been a couple of months now. How has your thoughts have been on the recent SMZ3 patch, with now like the boss, the Metroid tokens now also being another randomized thing?
I think it's fine, except when pendants are in SM. That's kind of annoying. I don't like that, but it doesn't really happen that often.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember reading the patch notes that they kind of, I mean, they can happen, but they try to weigh the odds against it.
They can happen, but the odds of more than one pendant being an SM are like really, really low.
Because I know that it's because generally speaking, SM can be, unless you do something like Key Sanity, SM tends to be cleared really and be done with real quick most of the time.
Yeah. Yeah, like last week there was a seat where Ridley with a pendant and Ice Rod was at PB's for shame, and like a bunch of people skipped it, and that was fun. I did that.
How bad did that turn out to be?
It was pretty bad. I think Ace won that one by like 20 minutes ahead of everyone else.
Oh
because
wow.
he didn't skip that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think the thing with reduced boss rewards, it can definitely speed seeds up. I think it also makes it more likely to be a hover situation, so maybe I will finally stop being lazy and learn Moldor Bounce.
So you don't need the Huskek on the validation chest.
Yeah. Because if
I mean-
before, like, the only way for it to be that is if Swamp was a pendant and Hook didn't just like randomly show up along the way. But now Swamp can be like a crystal or SM boss, but you just don't have to do it because you meet the requirements elsewhere. So you still don't need Hookshot for Swamp.
I don't have anything. I don't have anything else to ask you. So, you have. I believe you mentioned you have nothing else, Professor.
Not that I know of. No.
All right. Well, definitely. Thank you for coming on, and congratulations on your win.
Thanks. Just out of curiosity, what was Nito's like route, or what did he miss, or what, in general?
The main thing that come to my mind that I can remember is that he went to Rex ship and cleared it before going to Red Tower.
Okay. Oh yeah, Bo was speed locked. That's right.
So he did Red Tower right after Rex ship, got speed, and then he had to go back and get speed.
Yeah.
And then I think there was a few and then whereas you and then I think another major case of route divergence, which partly why Professor here cracked up, I think, is whereas you went Ice Palace, I think you went Misery Mire.
Yeah, I did. I found the flute in Meridian. I was gonna do Mire. I don't think I was gonna do the Mire dungeon, but I was gonna do Ice and then activate flute and go do Mire Overworld and then Lower Norfair and then maybe the Mire dungeon and then like Turtle Rock and then
Oh yeah, he did. SKR points out on our Discord. Yeah. Neolithic also skipped Outcast Village and Hype Cave for quite a while.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Hype Cave was pretty good. This one had various.
It actually felt hype.
And I think that Cape, which was half magic, which is nice, but I see he didn't grab it though. I thought about not grabbing it, but it's just so nice to have. And I was still on MS, so having like half magic Cape makes Master Sword Ganon super free if I had to do that.
I know in my the few times I played SMZ3, my magic management is not the best, so it's oftentimes half magic. It feels like almost a requirement.
Yeah, I know it's some people's favorite item. Oh yeah, and going back to the bow, this is another thing is, I think you could probably skip the bow in this seed if you can do Mimic Clip GT. I don't know if Nito knows how to do that or not, but since Eastern was a pendant and you could just not get the SM boss in Pod, I think bow skipping would be an option here.
Yeah, I believe I think that was that was considered mentioned by Professor earlier when we were discussing about that about how required the bow was.
Yeah. All right. I think that's about all I can think of to say. So, thanks for commentating, and thanks to the tracker, and thanks for restreaming this.
Yep, and thank you for presenting us a wonderful race, and I hope you have more wonderful races in the future and run speedruns.
All right, thanks. Good night.
Good night. Neurific is going into pod to get the to get the second second Metroid token. Currently does have 4 of the has 4 crystals. Or 4 crystals. Still looking for the second one. Looking for the 5th one. With the mitts though, we'll eventually have to make his way over to Ice Palace because you do need that for tile room. That's down. And now, where do you want to go, Nita? Has the flute out. Hopefully he goes to 8. Yes, this is going to 8. So Niterific will find go mode here. As much as it kind of sucks, but. So, as Neurific makes his way down to Ice Palace, again, I should mention that you should definitely give Neurific and Hitaka a follow. They definitely are good players, and follow me and Yuzuria. And of course, and shout outs to our tracker KR, even though he doesn't have Twitch. Putting on a good performance, by the way.
Now, do you know how good Neurific is with ball jumps?
I mean, if he's...
I mentioned he's pretty... I think you mentioned... Sorry?
Okay. So he's pretty... if he's getting to the point where, like, if he's like this really good of a player, I wouldn't be surprised that he would know a lot of the bomb jumps. So doing Ice Palace bomb jump, this is like, this, it has to be done. You don't like to do Ice Palace bomb jump here, especially with Icebreaker being a thing. But you have to have it in the back pocket just because who knows if you would break it out eventually. So. Yeah, so yeah, this will be a nice Palace bomb jump for him, so this should be fine for him. Well, I think he's actually gonna do it without the spin clip. Yeah, this is without the spin clip. Having trouble with the second lineup though, so
I mean, it's pretty precise. I know when I was trying to learn that particular bomb jump, I had trouble getting, like, I understand where I need to be, but getting Link into that spot, that right pixel, is where I struggle with.
Yeah, that's mostly because of the, like, and it makes sense too. Like it's an understandable problem because it's mostly just because of how the way Link moves. Link moves at an average of 1.5 pixels per frame. If you're moving up or right, the first pixel is you start moving at 2 pixels, and then it alternates between 1, 2, 1, 2, etc. And then when you're facing down, if you're moving down or to the left or down or left, then you start at 1 pixel the movement starts at 1 pixel, and then it alternates 2, 1, 2, 1, etc. So
Yeah, I think I
lining,
remember. Go ahead.
so lining it. So yeah, lining up a bomb jump like that, it's very tough because you're trying to get but you want to move in just the right spot, but you also want to make it so that and you're doing like these light taps because the game runs at 60 frames per second, and having to do something that precise, and if you're having trouble with it when you know Link moves at 1.5 pixels per frame, it's tough. So getting the lineup is for the second part of the PPJ is kind of tough if you just can't seem to get it.
Yeah, I remember reading about that. And that reminds me. I remember when I was learning Icebreaker or learning how that Link alternates between 1 and 2 frames, and I'm like, well, that's why I'm having so much trouble. I mean, at least with Icebreaker, I eventually can get it pretty decently, but some of the bomb jumps where you don't have, there's a lot less. It's a little bit more open, I guess, for lack of a better word. It's a little bit harder to get right in the right spot.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of what it is, though. It's just like you're dealing with a game, like a 30-year-old game that runs at 16 frames per second, and the movement, how he moves is awkward, especially when you're trying to line up for something very precise.
Yeah.
For a pixel perfect position. So it's I've known the game for quite a while now, and some Niterific finds Samaria and is very dissatisfied with it.
Was that Sword Slings of Happiness?
I like to believe not. I don't believe not because again, it's an IPPJ scene, and it's in a real in a world where it's post Icebreaker, where Icebreaker is a thing. You don't want to see it there, you know. So so yeah, it's pretty bad, and Niterific isn't having it. And eventually he'll find the hook shot here, and that will be go mode for Niterific, and I'll probably be checking out at that point too, because
It'll be interesting to see what his reaction, or their reaction, will be when they finally get hook shot out from the boss.
Both of them are heat, by the way. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just wanted to double check.
I wasn't sure I'd ever hold down, so it's like.
Right. Yeah. But anyway, Niterific will start the cold start fight, starting off with bomb bursts, because it's much more efficient than just using fire rod here, especially when you don't have.
Is it also magic efficient or just time efficient?
It's magic efficient, not time efficient.
Oh.
Yeah, it's only because that way you have fire rod shots to use for the fight, and there's your hook shot, and also your Dragon token. That is go mode for Niterific. So I'll leave the rest to you, Yuzu. I gotta get up tomorrow, so this has been fun, and yeah. So at this point, you're fixing Goma, so.
All right. Well, you have a good rest, Professor Renderer. Everyone, do give your thanks to him. Consider giving his Twitch channel a follow, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, take it easy.
Oh, okay. So we're taking a detour to Hookshot Cave. Looks like it was just a bunch of ammo. I didn't catch it the first time. Alright. Alright, Horrific is dealt off the cannon's tower. Okay, now one thing I will admit I kind of like with, I think it's kind of a neat touch, is how with the lower crystal count, you actually see a fewer number of crystals in the opening of Ganon's tower. Yeah, I can definitely. That makes sense. Thar. As chat explained earlier to me, was explained earlier to me. Just having Master Sword is unfortunate for the Ganon fight, but we did see a sword upgrade here, so that would definitely. So I imagine Nidorik would be very happy to find that tempered sword, which I believe should be in one of the upcoming rooms. I think this is in this room we found the tempered sword. There's the blue boomerang. And there's our tempered sword. Oh, Nidorik is immediately mirrors out and is now going to check the right side. Let's see if the Nidorik goes for tile room on their way first, or we'll save it for later. As a reminder, or for those new to this race, tile room does have the big key, and it does look like, yep, Nidorik is doing tile room first on the first go, so they'll get their big key without having to do all of the basement. Apparently, grabbing onto the wall so they don't lose magic. And there's the big key for Nidorik. Well, unfortunately, this does mean that Nidorik will miss out on some of the other items that was early found in Ganon's tower by Hitaka, as mentioned in chat. Nidorik very cleanly kills off those mimics. Now going to stop past the big key door. So nice how I'm genuinely impressed with how they can just how some of the Z3 runners can just like run through all those obstacles without any collision. Alright, I believe this was, I believe Professor mentioned this is the start of the gauntlet for the Z3 side. A bunch of rooms with a bunch, where you have to kill all the enemies. Rifky's suddenly getting bullied by that. Alright, now we're going to, I forget the name, but the sandworms of Sim Desert Palace, and, ooh, Nice. Terrific kills them off in a single round. Landless. Thank you, Dekar. Neorific is opting to use the lamp in this room. We're having to light all 4 lamps to open up the door. Probably have to switch. Yep, switch into the fire rod for that last torch. And just like Hidaka, Neorific is skipping, pretty much skipping chess at this point. Since they do have a tempered sword now, and they should have plenty of ammo just like in the Hitaka. Alright, here we go. Have more drawn once more. And goes down in 2 hits. Neorific verifies their run. Alright. Now Neorific is facing off against Agonum 2. Has a good start. It's a 2-hit on Agonum. I'm not sure if that was a 2-hit or a single hit on that second round. Well, 1 hit on this third round. Ooh, a double hit on the... I think that was the third round, so that was a very quick Aga 2 for Neorific. Alright, so Neorific should be facing off against Ganon in just a moment here. Neorific successfully gets that torch glitch. And there it goes down, goes to Ganon for Neorific. Now just needs to go and kill off Mother Brain. Okay, so Nidoריfic is swapping to Plasma and then getting a quick refill. Now they have 140 missiles, 75 supers, so they're even more plentiful than Hitaka was in terms of ammo. It makes me wonder if they'll do a Curse of Flash if they get grabbed by the baby. Oh, that's a good point. No Crystal Flash as pumped up by Thar. Probably won't do a Crystal Flash because we need an empty reserve, and Nidoריfic does have build reserve tanks. Alright, yeah, it's the last Metroid room by Nidoריfic, all done pretty cleanly and efficiently. Now we're off to have our family reunion. Let's see if Nidoריfic is able to get the baby skip. Or if they elect to just get drained. Okay, looks like they're pre-draining themselves with that enemy. So it probably looks like Nidoריfic is not going to do a baby skip. Yep, they're like, just grab me now. And does face right and saves the frame. Oh, that's a good point. I mean, the baby skip generally requires some particular movement items, as I recall. I'm nowhere near at the level where I feel like I can do baby skip, so I haven't really looked into it exactly what it requires, other than it's like expert speedrunner tech. Like in my case, it's only recently that I've been able to get a 3-tap short charge. Oh, Nidoריfic attempted to go for a speed booster skip. Doesn't get it though, unfortunately. And even though they have Ice Beam, they're electing to just blast down all of the Zepatites. Because I guess they have that much ammo, so why not? So I guess Nidoריfic shows off their ammo in their own way. I think that first missile there did not connect. But that's fine. Nidoריfic still has almost 90 missiles here, in case to make up for those missed shots. Dodging. Alright, Nidoריfic dodging to catch up, getting hit in the face by some onion rings. And now they're bringing themselves down. for the final phase. It's a cutscene time. That's a good question, Steele. It's that's one of the things I kind of wish the SMZ3 is had was like showing the location of some of the items in the credits. Because that's because you always left wondering, where was that item? Alright, Nidoריfic now in the final phase of Mother Brain. Getting in the face of Mother Brain was that Hyper Beam. And there's our very quick and clean Mother Brain 3, and now it's time for the final escape. So charge beam might have been in Turtle Rock, maybe? Since, as Thor points out, that's the only dungeon we did not get a peek of. Ooh, Nidoריfic takes an unfortunate fall in their escape. Mostly routing choices. A big one was like one was in the case of Nidoריfic. Did wreck ship first, and then they found speed booster right afterwards, so they had to backtrack to grab the bows. As Steele points out, Hitaka also found the mitts much sooner. Perhaps another final thing was that Hitaka went to Ice Palace, which is where gold mode, the final gold mode items was at, because that's where Cane of Samaria was located at, along with Hookshot. Whereas Nidoריfic elected to peek into Mystery Mire. And GG for Nidoריfic for completing their run at 3 hours and 8 minutes. Yeah, I will echo Thor. That's a very nice GG emote to Hitaka. Hi. Hello, Nidoריfic.
I'm surprised nobody went to bed.
The other commenter went to bed.
Yeah.
For me, I'm in the West Coast, so it's only it's not yet quite yet my bedtime.
Thought F553 would be nice and fast, but nope. Hookshot and Kane were in Ice Palace because why not?
Well, I guess that is kind of answers my initial question. What was your initial thoughts on the seed?
Started well, ended in disaster. That's pretty par for the course.
I did get the impression that the routing unfortunately did not work your way. Like first was the wreck ship, and then you find speed right after wreck ship,
Yeah.
and then you have to backtrack for the bow,
Yep.
and then of course, as you mentioned, both Hookshot and Samaria was in Ice Palace.
When Hitaka finished, I was sure it was a fast Ganon seed, and I forgot. I misread it. So that's why I climbed up the pyramid to see if the hole was already there, because I don't need Hookshot or Kane if it's fast Ganon, right? I can just kill Ganon and complete the last 2 dungeons I have with tokens. But no. Ice Palace, yep.
Yeah. Hitaka got lucky in the routing choices because they went Red Tower first early on, so they got speed really early. And then right about the time you decided to go to Ministry Mire, that was when they went to Ice Palace.
I mean, I was expecting a troll, not a double troll.
Yeah, I don't remember the seed really trolling Hitaka until he was looking for the Ganon Towers big key, which was the last. I think that was the last his last chest.
Yeah. Tower room is everybody's last chest except me.
Yeah, it actually worked out in your favor. Since I believe Thar mentioned the Dark Magician strat, where you check the first few rooms in the left side and then go to the east side.
But I don't skip Tower room chest. It's a 40-second gamble that can pay 5 minutes if you're right, so I think it's worth it, especially if the seed has been trolling you.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I definitely recall right when you found that somewhere. You found you had the sword swings of emotional sword swings.
I mean, it was. If it had been missing either or, I might have gone to Ice Palace earlier, but both, like, why? Is it even logically completable without both? Apparently, yes. I've had Hookshot
I'm not sure how the routing would work if you were to not to do any bomb jumps, because I'm more of a Metroid player than Zelda. I mean, I played Zelda before, but it's not something I know like the back of my hand.
Right side. Well, if you have mirror, the logic can't expect you to mirror back and go back down.
Yeah.
Logic. And right side. I don't think right side had anything. Big key was the first chest. Right side had like what, 1 key too. Should have skipped, or maybe you just wait. Kane was iced tea. You can go straight to iced tea, get the Kane, and then go to Cold Stare.
According to Thar in chat, logically speaking, it would have been a double dip. First, you get the small key from the big chest, then you go back to the spike cross room. If you were purely logical.
Well, them's the breaks.
Yeah, sometimes that's the way it is. That's now since I've been something and now something more broader that I've been been wondering since this new SMZ3 patch only came out like a couple of months ago, if I recall correctly. How do you feel about the whole randomized Metroid tokens and having the option of going for fewer bosses.
Well, I don't know about mixing SM bosses with the rewards with Link to the Past, but I'm definitely for reduced requirements to complete, because SMZ3, like, I say this all the time, but from the start to an hour and a half, I love SMZ3. And from an hour and a half to the end, I hate it because it takes forever to finish. Like, I remember a weekly a couple months back that I actually won. I was in Go mode at 140. It took me an hour to wrap up the seed. An entire hour. That's ridiculous. Shouldn't be that long.
Yeah, I can relate to that. So, I mean, if you have early Go mode, you might still have a lot of dungeons to just go through the matter of doing. Or ultimately, if it's a troll seed, you could be like searching everywhere for that last Go mode item.
Yeah, you have 200 locations too. I mean, personally, I would completely eliminate GT in SMZ3, like fast Ganon all the time. SMZ3 is long enough as it is that I don't need to waste 6-7 minutes in a dungeon that is not challenging to anybody. It's super
It's just
linear.
going through the motions.
Yeah, it's like the first time you go through Gauntlet, maybe you have a hard time, but it's like I don't know. I just don't like it. It's like, why? I'm ready to
really
kill
hope
again. Yeah, because it makes sense in Link to the Past, because not even when they're not playing fast Ganon, because when they're in Go, they can just go more to remaining dungeons, go climb GT. It takes them at worst, it takes them 10 minutes.
I mean, I can definitely see that because I mean, ultimately, the Ganon Tower is just like a big time sink.
Yeah, just getting to it takes a minute. Like from a save and quit to Ganon's Tower opening, it's like another minute and 15 seconds wasted just getting there.
And then I know, and at least when I do the usual 7-7, he also pushes me to do Turtle Rock like the very last, even if you might end up required to do it, dip into it earlier.
What would be really nice would be to have the 9th flute location, which is Turtle Rock, and it's in the remake of Link to the Past. When you open Turtle Rock, or rather you open the portal, you can flute to it after that.
Oh yeah, I remember reading about reading how the remake added a flute location to Turtle Rock, and I'm like, when I first read that, I'm like, that would be so nice to have. That'd be such a huge quality of life improvement.
Yeah, it's not like you get 3 minutes. So no, you have to get there normally. You open the portal, now you have the 9th flute destination. That would be sweet. Anyway,
Although I'm not sure how well that would be, if that's doable. I don't know. I don't know how.
It would be work. I know it will be work. So that's why, if we ever get that eventually, I'm in favor for reduced requirements for completing the seeds. All right. Well, thanks for coming.
Yeah. Thanks for racing. Thank you for being race stream. And if you're up for it, KR does have a quick question of how you feel about dark world fluting.
Dark world fluting?
Yeah.
That wouldn't really make sense.
Fair enough.
I mean, unless we have inverted.
There you go. Well, I have. Well, I have not. Don't have any other questions. Do you have any final remarks?
Cool seed. See you later.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on, and thank you for the race. All right. I guess that's I would presume so. That was a question from our tracker there. I am not familiar with too familiar with the Zelda randomizer side of things. That said, that does wrap up our stream here. So I have been your commentator, Yuzaria. We had Professor Renderer earlier on. And we have the KR as our tracker. They don't have a Twitch, but do consider checking out our Twitch channels. And we had our runners Taka and Eaterific, and do consider checking out theirs and following their Twitch streams channels. And we now conclude this stream. So we will all see you next mission.